And today on the Sports Trigger, we're going to discuss the fight last night between Mayweather and McGregor. Travis, are you ready?
Let's talk TKO.
Welcome back to the Sports Trigger, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the fight last night between Mayweather and McGregor. Travis, what are your thoughts?
I'm not surprised by the outcome by any means. Going into it, I definitely expected Mayweather to win, as you did, I know, and several other people. And I figured that at worst, Mayweather would win by decision, but going into it, I thought that he would tire out, or maybe McGregor would tire out. But, going 10 rounds, I'll tip my cap to McGregor for lasting that long. I definitely think that, that's a feat in itself for his first boxing match. And I actually saw and read something to where he landed more punches than, Manny Pacquiao did in their last fight. So that was pretty surprising to me. Actually, I believe it was 3 times more, punches than Manny Pacquiao laid. So that was surprising to me and obviously made it more impressive, but not surprised by the outcome. But I'm just glad that it's over with now, to be honest, with all the talking.
Yeah, it was an interesting fight in the terms of McGregor had never really boxed before, and I think Mayweather, you could kind of tell, or at least it seemed like that he was trying to figure out McGregor. First of all, he didn't want to come in throwing at kind of an unknown opponent where there wasn't really too much tail to tape there. So, yeah, caps off to McGregor. He didn't leave himself too open in those opening rounds. But yeah, once Mayweather kind of got a handle for him, it was all over it. And whether you want to attribute that to McGregor being tired, yeah, obviously that was a big thing. McGregor, you could tell physically he was just exhausted. But at the same point, Mayweather was just, the better boxer in the end run. I don't think, even if McGregor would have been, a little more energetic in the 10th, 11th, and then, the end round there, if it would have gone the full 12, I think Mayweather had kind of started to pick him apart in the way he was boxing there at the end, landing a lot of good, strong punches on McGregor as well. So, overall, great fight. I think, boxing didn't lose respect. If anything, it gained respect. It showed, boxing's a real sport that's tough. You can't just jump out there and, beat the best there is. But it also shows how athletic and how skilled UFC fighters as well. So it ended up being kind of a win-win for both sports. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's funny because going into us both talking about it, we were talking about how it seemed like a lose-lose for the boxing association, but really for boxing and UFC, as you stated, it does seem like a win-win on both counts. And it was, you could definitely tell that McGregor, I wouldn't say he was uncomfortable, but he definitely wasn't used to the boxing style, just pure boxing, as far as his form and consistently staying in a certain stance, as, Floyd's obviously used to. So it's definitely interesting to watch. There are definitely certain instances where it looked like McGregor, wanted to wrap him up and, use his knee or, do different things that, you would typically see in UFC style. And to add to that, it was really impressive as well, because I kind of figured there'd be a couple times, at least 1 or 2, to where he may, act, a certain way that you would in UFC, as far as trying to knee somebody and then maybe get a warning or something like that. So, definitely a win-win. I totally agree with that. And, the fight was a little bit better than I expected in terms of the length and, the quality of boxing as well.
Yeah, I think it just goes to speak volumes of boxing not being just a brawler sport. It's not just the bigger man wins. It's not the guy who punches the hardest wins necessarily. It's the guy with the best tactics, the best strategy. And if anything, that kind of gives you more of an appreciation for boxing in the end run. For me anyways, outside of, everybody's like, oh, everybody keeps saying Mayweather hasn't taken punches, he can't take it punches. You know what, to be honest, like, I side with him, and I was reading, a few quotes from him, and he's like, I've been hit countless amount of times in my life by hard punches, by hard punchers, by guys with great tactics. He's seen it all. And you know what, I agree with him. I think he can obviously take hits. And he just hasn't taken as many of them. And that's where you get down to it. I mean, if you look at a lot of the punches last night, McGregor landed some good ones that a lot of the naysayers for Mayweather would have been like, I'm surprised it didn't knock him down. I'm surprised Mayweather could take that. But Mayweather landed a lot more. What was it? Over 50% of his punches landed, or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
So it just goes to show that he can take those hits, but he's learned to deliver more in a higher percentage, and that's what's been counting. That's how he either wins by points or a TKO like last night. So it's just been really impressive, and I'll tip my hat to him. I have a lot of respect for him. I wish he would have had Pacquiao a year earlier than what he did, but right. I don't know if it would have really mattered. And you know what? He's a heck of a promoter, because he lets enough chatter happen where everybody's like, oh, like, this is going to be a great fight, it can go the distance, blah, 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 blah. And then you get enough people starting to think, they're like, maybe McGregor has a chance. But really, he had no chance. So
Right.
With that being said, thanks a lot, guys, for listening to the Sports Trigger again, and until next time.